Awesome. Well, thank you so much for making the time for coming tonight. I am Kim Castle. I am a magnetic mind method certified coach. Thus the little plaque on the wall there. I did the legwork. I'm excited that you could make the time tonight because I'm excited to actually have help, to have the information that I've been missing my whole life. What got me into this work is that I had the same kind of life as everybody does. Crappy childhood, divorced parents, some sexual abuse, 2 divorces, lost my career, everything fell apart. I think back in the 50s, they called it a nervous breakdown. You hit 45 and it all falls apart, right? So, oh, I'm sorry. Hi, Heather. So I got really sick and tired of hearing, oh, just get over it, let it go, move on. Or this too shall pass. Oh man, my mom used to say that and I wanted to strangle her. Like, you go to a funeral, you're at a funeral and people are saying, oh, it'll get better. This will get better. Same story, right, Charlene? And I'm thinking, when is it going to get better? How does it, you can't be serious. How could this possibly get any better? No one ever had the how and how to get over it. They never could tell me when I would get over it or when I would get through it or how long it was going to take. Nobody had practical answers. And I was pissed off that they even tried to help. And I didn't want to be that person anymore that didn't have help, that I couldn't help. All I had was words. I've got the how, the secret sauce in how to get over it. The secret sauce on what it's supposed to look like, how you can live the life you love. Right now, just as you are not broken. Wait a minute. Did you hear that? You are not broken. All you hear in media is, I'm broken. This part of me is broken. You're not broken. Let's look at some people in history. One of my favorites, I can't believe the strife, the lives people have led. Oprah Winfrey was raped as a child. She is America. She's the world's media queen. Do you think she thought she had to get help, get treatment, get fixed before she became a media mogul? If anybody knows who Oprah is, and if you don't, you live under a rock. She started way back in the 80s. She was young. I can tell you that she did not have the therapy that everybody thinks they need to get better. The problem with society is you've been lied to by your teachers, your leaders, personal development. We've inhaled and adopted these beliefs that if I just fix this about me, I can have this. If I can just make more money, I'll be able to be richer. If I can just get thinner, I'll get the man I want, right? You guys got to fix. The problem with that is there's nothing to fix. That's why it doesn't change. That's why you can try, and you never get there. You always spring back to right now, right? Does this sound familiar? 1 step forward, 6 steps back. I wish it was only 2 steps back, right? Does this sound familiar? 1 step, like, how hard do I gotta work? It doesn't work. If I can prove that to you by saying you are not broken, however your structure is. So that's bad news because my structure's broke, but the good news is we got that. What I'm here to do for you is help you design the life you love, to live the life you love, have everything that you want just as you are without fixing it. Okay. This is the last personal development you'll ever need. I've done the legwork. Okay, I've read some books, and if anybody knows me, I hate reading, but I thought, I'm going to fix it. I'm going to read and find out. I'm going to find, no, it didn't work. Law of attraction. I'm going to wish it here. I'm going to wish it here. I'm going to wish it here. I really, it's going to happen. It's good. Nothing happens. Sarah's laughing at me because
I'm gonna wish it here. I'm gonna wish it here.
I'm gonna wish it here. I'm gonna get healthy. I'm gonna get that man. It's gonna be the UPS man. He's gonna ring the doorbell. I just know it. He's coming. I'm gonna put it out in the universe. No, it's not gonna happen that way. It's not gonna happen that way. The good news is the word action is in the law of attraction. So the piece that you've been missing is the action in law of attraction. Wishing, you can wish in one hand and, pardon my French, shit in the other, right? It's not coming. You've got to go get it. Now, what's stopping you? Well, 10 times out of 10, it's you stopping you. We get in our own way. Good news is we get to get out of our own way. So how do we do this? The magnetic mind method was developed. It's a revolutionary program developed from many other programs. Chris Duncan invented this. Not everything that's in it. He just put all the pieces together to create this. Our program is a 5-step program. I'll get more into that as we go on. I'm going to tell you what you're going to get out of this. You are going to get the GPS map to getting to where you're going. You're going to get, it's called lenses. We're going to help you develop those choices. I'm going to keep you aligned in those lenses, with those lenses. Once you make that choice, you draw the map, you get there. Weekly, when I see you every week, I'll be doing this every week. We remove the resistance to get out of your way to get you there. We keep you aligned in that GPS map to get everything you want, just as you are. No fixing required. Some really, really good news. We don't have to, unlike other programs, we don't look at the past. We don't have to dig up your dirt. We don't have to look at all that ugly, whether you remember it or not, stuff. We don't need that. That is not required to get you to where you're going. We don't need that information. You don't need that information to get to where you're going because it doesn't matter. So that's what you're getting in this course. The Recode is the sizzle on the steak. The steak is the structure. The structure we're going to give you and keep you aligned in is the steak. The Recode is the process, the superconscious process that removes resistance or those things that get in your way. Okay, so you're going to get that. You're going to get weekly group sessions. Every week I'm doing this for 12 weeks. It's completely complimentary. You, your friends, invite anybody who you think might get some value out of this. To help keep you aligned. So I'm going to teach you what creative tension is, why the personal development world has been not 100% true, why it hasn't worked. Okay. I'm going to give you valuable tools that you'll be able to use for the rest of your life, not just in this time frame, not just with what we're doing. Okay. What I need from you guys is for you to show up, be here. Value your time. If you've ever wanted to do anything for yourself, this is it. It's an hour a week. I think you deserve that. No, I know you deserve that. I need you to know that you're worth that. Okay, I promise to deliver if you show up. Be prepared. Be open to the information. Some of it's going to be new. Some of it's going to be a little hard to hear. but just be open to learning new things. Maybe, maybe drop some of your old learnings. Times change, science changes. Just be open to the experience. I also want you to ask questions. If you have questions, please ask, because if I don't know, that actually helps me help you see things clearer when you ask questions. So please feel free to do that. As I said, I am certified coach. Where I come from, you guys have all already been. So why am I sitting here? Who am I to be able to deliver this? Like I said, I've done the legwork. I've been certified for just over a year now. I live a life I love. Me sitting here proves that I live a life I love. Me sitting here proves that I'm the predominant creator in my life. Sitting here means that I am living my true nature on purpose. 2 years ago, I couldn't say that. 2 years ago, I was looking for a scooter for my mobility. I was living pretty solitarily. I was feeling pretty crappy about myself. Here I was turning 50 years old, and boy, I thought I'd be a little farther in life than I am. So I had a brush with death, and I thought, well, I made it through that. And I remember saying to the ambulance driver, I said, I'm not going to die. I might miss something. So I realized that I did have a purpose. I didn't know what it was, so I started looking for it. It was delivered to me. A close friend of mine had some tragedy that I felt helpless. I couldn't help her, and I wanted to find the answers. She led me one place. I ended up here. The universe, when you ask, the universe will deliver it. Most of the time we miss the signs. Some of us need a 2x4 over the head to see the sign, right? We need big flashing lights. Come here, this is your destiny, right? So I did it. I became certified. Yep, right, you got to do this. Hey, you wake up, right? So I did this, and I am proof that it works. I'm no longer looking for a scooter. I haven't looked for a scooter. As a matter of fact, I'm no longer on narcotics. I am healthy. I do what I want, when I want, for how long I want. I am still single by choice. I've got things to do, places to go, and people to meet. Right now, a relationship's not that important to me. But I love my family. I can look at things in a way now that I couldn't 2 years ago. Things, my accepting the present state is different. Who can agree here that if you could just see things a little different, you might feel a little better about yourself? Joe Dispenza is one of my favorite mentors. And he explains that when we live every day in depression, we crave it, right? We crave these chemicals. So every day we wake up addicted to the same chemicals. So I'm going to be asking you to do some hard stuff in this work. And that means maybe setting your intention every morning before your feet hit the floor. Changing your playlist. I might be asking you to change your playlist. I might be asking you to watch different movies. I might ask you, and just, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm asking you to see things from different perspectives. So that's some of the work we'll be doing here. So a lot of this work is done in the superconscious. Now you're probably thinking, the super what? I heard a funny, it was, I was watching a TV show, and I forget which show it was, but they were talking about that field of information being that he said, didn't you know an Australian invented the phone? And the kid said, I didn't know Alexander Bell was Australian. Because Alexander Bell and an Australian got the same information from the field at the same time. One just got the patent quicker. Okay, this happens. You'll hear about this quite often. Actually, Steve Jobs was known to meditate for hours getting information out of the field. The iPhone is all out of the field. That field of information. Now, we all have our own field, right? You have your field, you have your family field, you have your work field. Pets have their little field, dogs have their field, and they have the cat field and the animal field. We belong to our family fields, our friends' fields, but we all are collectively in one superconscious field. I love actually Arlene's background. If you can swish through your pictures, it's like that's like the earth with the sun coming up. And it just looks, that halo looks like, it reminds me, thanks Arlene, it reminds me of a field, right? All you got to do is plug into that field or answer the field phone, pick up that line to get that information. Your superconscious is the field of information that was you before you were you. Your superconscious is the field of information that gave the instructions on how to put you together. It is where all of our beliefs are stored. It's like a computer. It has our information, our parents' information, our parents' parents, and our parents' 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 information. It has all that information right there. In history, the history of personal development, all of the different therapies were done in the conscious and in the unconscious. It can take years to do work there. People are in therapy for years and years at a time. In the superconscious, when we access that information, change can be done instantly. So you can talk to your superconscious. We do it all the time. We just don't know that's who we're talking to, right? We'll say, I'm going to nail this thing today. We are going to nail this thing. Who the hell is we? We is me and my superconscious. We are going to nail this today. So we do it without knowing we're doing it. But that is what the superconscious is. The Recode is done with me as a coach, you as a client. I access your superconscious only with your permission. Okay. I'm going to go more into that later. I just wanted to give you a little bit of verbiage that we're going to be talking about in today's session. So, is everybody getting this? Have I said anything new to anybody? Are you guys like, oh, wow, this is mind blowing. Why didn't I know this 5 years ago or 10 years ago? Who's really getting it? This was amazing to me. And such good news coming at such a good time, right? I can change my life. I don't blame it on anybody else anymore. I do it. I created it. I'm responsible for creating it, right? There's some big news. So I invite you today to start to think about, if money was no object, you could wave that magic wand, what would your life look like? Now, I always picture, I'm sure everyone's seen Wizard of Oz, when Dorothy opens that door and it goes from black and white to color, and that world is so fascinating. What does your Oz look like? Who's there? Who's in it? Wow. Money's no object. I can do whatever I want. What would you do? And that might be hard to think about. As adults, we're taught not to imagine, right? We're taught, oh, that's make-believe. That's, do you remember being a little kid and thinking, remember when Santa was coming and you didn't know he wasn't real yet? And it was the most magical time to think that all I got to do is be good all year, or at least the last week of Christmas. And this man was going to show up and bring me some gifts for just being me, right? It was so magical. What would your Oz look like? Is it in a different state? Is it in a different house? Is it right where you are? You just want more of it? That's okay too. You could be perfectly happy where you are and you just want more of it. That's okay too. So ask yourself, what did you come here for today? Maybe because I asked you, maybe because you tripped over the link. This will be on YouTube forever. Maybe you found me 5 years from now. It's January 2022. I believe it's January 4th. It's that early in the year. I got all year to slay it. And so do you. So what are you here for? Are you ready to make the move? Are you ready to take the steps? Are you ready to take action to change your life? I congratulate you on being here today. You deserve this. So what beliefs, when I ask you maybe why you don't have some of those things anymore, there are some beliefs that pop up. You've heard yourself say it. This is too hard. I can't do this. This is too hard. That's a belief that you're not capable. That's something that you have created your whole life and may have even come from some of your ancestors. I can't do that. It's too hard, right? So we're going to talk about that structure, that broken structure. As soon as I get through the pages. All right. So this is your current reality. This is where you are right now. Okay. And you've been told all your life that when you get here to your desired result, things are going to be better. Right? Right? Your teachers, when you get a job and you go to college, you're going to get, things are going to get better, right? That desired result, that future, everything's going to be better. It's going to be better when I win the lottery. It's going to be better when I don't have to go to the doctor anymore and I'm perfectly healthy and I can run a marathon. When I get help, when I have that dream relationship, my life is going to be better. What? Are you hearing this? It's going to be, so our teachers, our parents, our leaders, always, it's going to be better when. And in a perfect world, that would be great. But what happens? What happens when you go for better? The story's all the same. You go for better and you hit a wall, right? Like you might get the degree, but life seems a little harder even. Like, shit, I work harder now. I'm at school and I got a job and I got a wife and I got a, what the hell am I doing? It's not better, is it? It's not better. You get married, you have some kids. Oh, what have I done? This is not better. This is not better. What happens is we have these beliefs and we hit this wall because our unconscious, our identity thinks it would have to cease being. If you got to better, your ID would think it would have to die because it thinks you'd have to be someone else to get here. So your ID thinks it would have to die to get here. And in the old structure, that's true. But with a new structure, we can break down that wall. But let me explain this. You hit this wall and it brings you right back to here, right? So you go for something else, you get more training, you get a different husband, you get a whatever it is. Go get on another diet, right? This is my 5th diet. Oh, this one's not working either. You yo-yo, right? You oscillate. You try to go for better, you hit the wall, and you come back to here. There's nothing wrong with you. Our unconscious is, our identity is only job is to keep us safe. This hasn't been proven safe yet. It can't get through that wall without this rewiring. Does this sound familiar? Is everybody getting this? This is the structure of oscillation that you've been in and why you don't have everything you want just the way you are right now. This does not require any more training, any more fixing. You don't have to fix. We just removed the wall in the superconscious. We remove the clutter. We remove the beliefs. We remove the resistance standing in your way. Okay. So if you are seeing this now, that you've been misled, you've got to be thinking to yourself, because I know I did, oh, crap, I got to start all over. But really you don't, because there is no fixing. We're not fixing anything. So this self-sabotage puts you in this oscillating loop back and forth because your identity thinks it would have to die. It is the problem. Okay. So you think that over here, you're in scarcity. Over here, you got lots of money, right? You're abundant. Over here, you have a diagnosis. Over here, you're living the life. You are super healthy. Over here, you're single. Over here, you're married. It's going to be better when. It's going to be better when. It's going to be, and most people die in this loop. They never get the memo. That's depressing. That's depressing. So you get over here and you think, oh, nope, can't have it. I better go back and fix myself. Better go back and fix myself. You think that's true. It's not true. It is not true. So the real common denominator is not you. It is this oscillating structure. Okay. And just imagine if it were only you, you'd be the only one sitting here, not everybody else in the world. Do you think that all the people in the world who are rich and successful are happy? Absolutely not. There are rich people in the world who are thrilled to death. There are rich people in the world that are depressed and lonely. There are people who are married who are thrilled, happy relationships. There are other people married who are not. Okay, so who's right, who's wrong? No one's right, no one's wrong. They're just in the wrong structure. I know it's not everyone's favorite example, but Donald Trump, if you know him in person, he is just a jerk. He did not have his own money, didn't matter. He did not, nobody really liked him except that he had money. And he became the president of the United States. Do you think he thought, well, maybe I need to get more money to become president? Do I need to get, I don't know, do I need to get some tact to become the president? No, he didn't fix anything. He went for it. Nothing got in his way. He went and got it. You think he cared what anybody thought? Do you think he cared if he thought he was qualified? Not at all. This is the same for us. It doesn't matter that we tried and failed before. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. None of that stuff matters. Where you're going and being in the right structure is what matters. And it comes quickly. It comes quickly. Because we're going to talk about that tension. They just simply did it. Are you guys with me here? So they just did it. So what is a structure? You guys know what a structure, if you ever had those little sticks, you know what structure is. A structure is a group of parts working together. So a rocking chair is a structure. If you ask that rocking chair to rock back and forth and oscillate, that's exactly what it does. That structure is made to do that. If you ask that rocking chair to flow down a riverbed, is it going to? Yeah, probably not. It's not what it's made for. It's the wrong structure. Water inside of a riverbed will flow, and it will take the path of least resistance. Now, that is a universal law. Everything takes the path of least resistance. Think about a raindrop. When rain drops out of the sky, it doesn't go over there unless there's some wind applied, but it goes in the path of least resistance, drops down, and it flows to wherever it's the path of least resistance. If something is a structure, if you try to make it do something that's not in its structure, it's going to go badly. It's not personal. It's not a bad chair because it wouldn't go down the riverbed, right? It's not a bad chair. It's not what it was made to do. So we have those three kind of structures. We have a stuck structure or a solid structure, like a house is a solid structure. It's stuck there. It is what it is. Our oscillating structure, the rocking chair, it oscillates. A pendulum, right? Pendulum goes back and forth, oscillating. A flowing structure, water, it's in a riverbed and it goes path of least resistance, but it still flows. If something stops it, like a boulder or a bridge, it's not going to go up or over the bridge, right? It's going to flow under. It's going to take the path of least resistance. So in your creative structure, in the creative tension, I want you to think of it as a bow and arrow. Okay, when we pull back that bow and we have that arrow pointed at our target, is it going to go anywhere but where we have it pointed? No. It's going to take the path of least resistance, and when we let that bow go, it's going to go where it's going. So now if we just put it in the bow and not do anything, well, yeah, it's probably going to fall all over the place. It's not going to work real well. So in your current reality, you're stuck, you're oscillating. That's not working for you. In your desired result is everything you want, but how do you get there? Okay. When we talk about a GPS map, when we talk about our lenses, I like to refer to it as if you're going to, I'm in Wisconsin. If I'm going to go to Florida, which I am going to Florida, I get out my little Google devil machine here, right? And I say, Google, oh, no, not my, anyway, how do I get to Palm Beach, Florida? It's going to bring me up a map. It's not only going to bring me up a map, it's going to tell me where to stop to eat, where the cops are, it's going to tell me if I'm speeding. It's going to tell me all this stuff. Our lenses that we use to help keep you in your working structure is exactly like that. So when we talk every week, we're going to discuss that. And we're going to ask you, as a coach, I'm going to ask you, what got in the way this week? And you're going to say, gee, well, the kids got sick and the car broke down. And that's all story, and that's fine. That's life. But I'm going to ask you, always ask you, what is it that you're trying to create? My job is to keep you in that creative structure. What are you trying to create? I'm not trying to fix you. If you want to get fixed, you're in the wrong place. I can't fix you. You should know this because you can't fix you either. That's what you're doing here. I'm giving you the answer. This is how we're going to do it. So when we talk about intention or tension, our program has 5 steps. Okay. So what are you trying to create? What do you want to create? Now, we talked a little bit about this. If money were no object, what are you trying to create? That has nothing to do with what happened at work, what happened at home, what happened at that has nothing to do with the story of the week. Okay. Your unconscious is always listening. Okay. So when you say things like, it's too hard, who do you think is listening? Your unconscious is listening. Your unconscious is always listening. And it's building up on those negative beliefs that we've been saddled with our whole life. Okay. When we say, I'm going to just go get some psychotherapy or some hypnotherapy, what do you think you're saying to yourself unconsciously? That you need to be fixed. Something must be wrong or broken if I need to go get help, right? If I need to get fixed. It's an invisible instruction. Okay. Oops, someone got kicked out here. Let's see here. Okay. So in a perfect world, what life would you have? Sarah's asking that in the chat. Sarah, I'm interested. Normally I wouldn't do this, but Sarah, I'm interested. What Sarah's got a little, I see it in her eyes. What would you like to add, Sarah?
Well, we talk ourselves out of our dreams so quickly.
Like that.
It's the moment you have an idea, it gets shot down before it even congeals into an idea. So sometimes we can trick ourselves into not shooting it down by framing it with, okay, if it was a perfect world, because we hear that all the time. In a perfect world, well, in a perfect world, yeah, in a perfect world, what is it? Name it.
What is it?
Call it in. Like it gives you just a little bit more room to let the idea grow a bit, to think, okay, if it was a perfect world, so all other things aside, all resistance aside, what is it?
Like in a perfect world, I would be traveling at least 4 or 5 or 6 times a year. In a perfect world. In a perfect world, I would be walking my dogs every day because it would feel good and I would love it in perfect world. What does your perfect world look like? So I'm talking to you a little bit about tension, creative tension, the structural tension. What is tension? Tension is the invisible force that holds things together. Think about a tension bridge. If it didn't have that tension, things would get ugly, right? Tension, attention, inattention. Sarah and I and a couple other coaches did, and I don't know how we did it, talked about 2 hours about tension. My quick version of that is tension. My earrings wouldn't work without the tension of the spring pulling back the back. Tension. I know exactly what tension is. If I'm in creative tension, that means I'm in creative because I love it. And that identity, that idea is pulling me towards it, right? It's pulling me towards it. And for the first time in all of history, I don't have a, yes, I do, a rubber band. Tension, right? Tension. If I let go and there's no tension, it falls down, right? So if I pull back the tension, depending on which side I let go, it's going to snap to, it's going to go directly to where we're putting it. So when you design that life I love, when you put it all together and we get in that creative tension, the only place to go is there, right? Who wants this for themselves? Who wants to have a coach that keeps them in the structure that actually allows you to springboard to that life you love, to being the predominant creator? Who wants to do, I want to do that every day. And I do, I get to do that. I get to do that. And you get to do that now too. Yeah, right on. So these silent instructions, and as coaches, Sarah does this to me all the time. Did you hear what you just said? She'll say, did you hear what you just said? And I'm thinking, no, I probably didn't hear what I just said. Did you? What did I just say? Because we can't see our own blind spots. An example, I was going to a family wedding and I was so excited to go. My cousin, who's 40 years old, was finally getting married. She found the love of her life. I was so happy for her, but I hadn't seen my family in that capacity, in a happy capacity, for quite a while. And I had this crazy back pain, like crazy, like I've never had it before. I had to go to the hospital. I couldn't explain it. It was a couple days before the wedding. I was crying my eyes out. I called up Sarah. Sarah, what's happening? And she's laughing at me. Sarah, why are you laughing at me? Because I unconsciously, I can't see what's back there. I can't get out of my own way. This is why I need a coach. She said, Kym, you're having resistance. You're a little afraid how they're going to receive you. And I thought, that never occurred to me. She did a recode. I went to the wedding. I had a splendid time, not a lick of pain. And it was a long trip. It was perfect. So this is something we have to work with every day. Every single day we're faced with life things that are happening that our identity is going to pop up and go, no, you can't have that. Don't do that. Whether it be go out to play with your friends because you want to, go out on a date because you want to, apply for a new job because you want to. Now you can hear this. You're filling out the application and I can hear what's in your head. They're never going to pick me. I'm too old. I'm overqualified. I'm underqualified. I should have took more classes. And I don't have enough job experience. I've been not working for way too long. This is never going to happen. Yes, Sarah. She
I can't help it. Just you're describing this idea of going for your dream job. And people say that all the time too. I need to land my dream job.
Yeah.
So the idea is there of having a concept, a dream that you need to land in the 3D. And people accept the idea of landing a dream job. What about landing a dream life? Like, can you grow that out a little bit beyond just a job?
Yeah. Can you?
You need one of those Spider-Man grappling things to grab it and get some tension and pull it down.
Those little web things wouldn't work very well if you didn't have tension. So we talked about some different structures, the oscillating, the stuck, the flowing, and I want you to notice, and I want you to write this down actually. Focus equals structure equals reality. Your focus equals your structure that creates your reality. Now that's a mouthful, especially when I've just announced to you that your old structure is completely broken. Your focus, if you can focus on that new working structure, it will become your reality. That is what that statement means. It's being aligned in the reality, in the current reality of your desired result. Okay? You can have it now. I cannot explain to you more urgently, more emergent, that just by letting go of the past, and I hear you, there are some damaged people in the world. There are some evil people in the world. We've all got it. We've all heard about it. And I feel for you, and I feel bad about that for you. But, and we know that but erases everything that we just said. I am sorry for what you went through. I've gone through some stuff, but that doesn't serve me. That all that has done is poison my world. I put it in a wagon and had a cute little teddy bear haul it off to somewhere. I don't got to look at it anymore because I'm creating. I don't need that. What do I want to create? And I want you, and I challenge you to put that shit in a wagon and let, I don't care who you let pull it away, but you don't need it anymore. What do you want to create? And I want you to start writing it down. The most important thing I'm going to say to you today, and the most important thing that I got from Chris Duncan, is a phrase, and I want you to write this one down. And if someone could put it in the chat for me, you must be it to see it. Now, when I first heard that, you must be it so you can see it. For years, I thought to myself, you got to fake it till you make it. Have you heard that one before? Fake it till you make it. Dress the part, look the part. Those were little nuggets of this message. You must be it to see it. You can't sit back here and watch the movie and expect that to happen. You got to get your ass out the chair and go live in the movie. That's what that statement is saying. You must be it. Don't sit there and watch it. Don't sit there and make dream boards. Reserve the room. The beach on the reserve the room. Now, I was going through some of the steps. The first step is, what are you trying to create? The next step is, where are you now? Where are you now? Now that's the most depressing question I'm going to ask you all night. I'm not asking you to sit there and complain about it. I want you to just notice it in comparison to what it is you're trying to create, and just notice the 2 points. Just notice it. Not necessarily that one is better or worse, but just that they're different, right? They're just different. I want you to just notice where you are now. Just, if you want to keep it generic, just label it. Are you stuck, oscillating, or flowing? I'm guessing that you're stuck or oscillating. Sometimes you might be flowing, but for the most part, you're one of those structures. Those are structures: stuck, oscillating, or flowing. Okay. So the next step is to get into the feeling. So I want you to feel, and this is my favorite part of the steps, feel your desired result. So I asked you earlier what it is you'd like to create. If money was no object, if you could open that door, from black and white into Oz, what would it look like? And I want you to close your eyes for a minute, and I want you to get into the feeling of why you want it. And your answer should be just because I want it. It's only a true choice if I could ask you 50 times why you want it, your answer is always just because I love it, just because I want it. My dad used to say that. I said, Dad, you got 3 TVs. What do you need another? Because I want it. That's what he'd say. And he was my dad. He was older than me. Okay, just because you want. I didn't understand it then, but I understand it now. Just because you love it. That's what life should be. I'm doing it because I love it. And I want more of it, right? How does that feel? How does that desired result feel? And I want you to really turn it up and feel it. How good would it feel to have that thing you're trying to create? And I'm promising you're going to get it if you do this work. So really feel it and appreciate it. Okay. Now the next steps are coming. Come back to now. And I want to just explain to you a little bit about how you got here. Maybe not to this call, but here in general. I'm sorry, you gotta look at my rear end. So I just want to kind of recoup, re-explain a little bit, kind of bring you back to how it is that you are not broken. Okay. I'm sure you've all seen some movies, some hit movies. The Hobbit, it's like 3 hours long. I've tried to watch it a million times, but I keep falling asleep. But every movie has it, and it's the human journey. Okay, right? You get that poor kid who's a nobody in town, and he has to go through all this stuff, and there are people who help him before he becomes the hero of the movie, right? If you're like me, you fall asleep before he gets there, but so pop it in my private chat or something. The human journey, we are born, right? We're before that, we're in the womb, we get everything. We can breathe, we're comforted, we get our food, all our needs are met, and then we're born. Doesn't sound too bad, but I don't know, the way I see those babies come flying into the world screaming, it doesn't sound too pleasant, but but they're born, and you're born a pure creative spirit. You haven't been poisoned yet by all the worldly stuff. But then as you get a little older, you're still an infant, we get wounded through that individuality. So we're born and we figure out that we've got to cry to get food now or to get changed. That, you know, it's depressing that we got to start worrying about that stuff, right? So we get fussy, and you're starting to create that individuality about the self. And then even as we get a little older, like in our toddler years, we start making up these beliefs, this structure. Our beliefs are our structure. And we want to resolve them, right? So we figure out that we must be good to be loved, or we must try really hard to belong. We start to get these new beliefs. We start to reasoning, right? We're reasoning how we can get the things we want, how to be accepted, how to be loved. And we're orientated by these beliefs, by the structure. So how do I overcome it, right? I'm going to go get more education. I'm going to date as many guys as possible. I'm going to get married 6 times. What is it? What am I going to do? What you're always trying to overcome these beliefs. Okay. So what are these beliefs? Now, these beliefs, I'm going to just write them down real quick on the bottom here. So we talked a little bit about those beliefs, like I'm not good enough, it's too hard, like I'm not capable, some of the beliefs that might pop up, and just drop it in the chat if you can relate to some of these. I know I can. So the first belief is that I'm not good enough. These people are constantly trying to prove themselves to parents, to friends, to spouses. They're always trying to prove something, that they're trying to prove that they're good enough, right? So the next one is I'm not worthy. I get this one a lot. And so you start to do things to make you deserve things. I'm going to do all of this so I deserve something. These people are usually always let down by the expectation world. I'm not worthy, so I'm going to do a bunch of stuff and hope that someone notices, right? The next one is I'm not significant. I'm not significant. Middle kids have this one. They're always trying to create status. So they're always trying to create their status. They usually have a lot of titles. I'm a doctor. I got 4 different letters in front of my 4 different sets of different letters in front of my name, right? They're always trying to create status. Okay. The next one is I don't belong. Now I get this one for me a lot and I don't understand it because I think I totally belong. But these people are always trying to fit in. The people pleasers, you've met them. The people pleasers. The next one is I am not perfect. These people are the fixers. They're always fixing themselves, usually. They're fixing, they've got to take more medicine, they've got to go to more seminars, they've got to fix it. Sarah's laughing. she's a fix it. The next one is I'm not capable. Not capable. And these people are always learning something new. I know someone just like this who has more useless books in their house. They're always learning something. I've got to learn more. I can't get anywhere until I learn more. Now, these are what Chris teaches us in the magnetic mind. A big one that keeps popping up for me that's not on this list. And I think a lot of you are it's really going to hit home, is I'm not lovable. I have to come up with what are these people? I'm not lovable. These people are always trying, these are the super people pleasers. They will have they will have cosmetic surgery to please others. It's a bit deeper and a bit bigger than some of the other ones, but these people will go to any length for someone to love them, including paying themselves. They will pain themselves to make themselves lovable. So these are the structure. This is the structure that keeps you stuck or oscillating. Okay. Going back to the 5 steps. Let's do this. Going back to the 5 steps, the 4th step we do is to remove resistance or unplug. So the 4th step is where we plug in that Recode, or we do another process to help remove the resistance. Okay, so that step 5, when we take step 5, which is taking the action, we're removing that resistance so that we can move forward. Okay, so going back to the human journey, what happens is when we're sitting in this oscillating, or we're stuck and we actually keep running into the wizard's gate. we haven't figured out how to open the door yet. And 95% of people die here. They never figure out how to have it all. But because you're here, you have been awakened. I rung your bell. Here you are. You're going to be it so you can see it. That step 5 is, or step 4 is the wizard's gate. It's removing all the resistance, so that you can walk forward through that gate. Being it before you see it, it creates the magnetic mind, keeping you in that tension, keep you in that creative tension. This is where you live from that creative orientation, and you make true choices, and it turns thoughts into reality. Now, is that really what we're doing? No, we're taking the action to create that reality. We've learned it. And that's how we do it. Okay. So that 5th step, taking action, and we talked about that. The law of attraction. Action is at the end of that statement, and action is the 5th step. Okay, so this is a little bit different map, but it's the same thing. So first step is, what would you like to create? Next step is get into the emotion. What's it like now? Let's unhook what's in the way. Let's move it out of the way so you can take action. Now there's 3 kinds of action. There's feminine action, things like nurturing, relaxing, taking care of, might be self-care, whatever it is. It's the watering of the plants. It's the making sure they get sunlight, right? Then there's masculine action. That's the go get it. Let's plant the seed. Let's do the work. Let's get her done, right? So then there is no action, inaction. Maybe it's because you don't know what the action should be. Maybe the action is finding out what the next action is. So it might feel a little bit like that. So we use 4 orientation structures in the magnetic mind. And someone can pop these in the chat if they'd like. The first one is, and you've heard me say it, living the life I love. Now, when we make a statement here at Magnetic Mind, or in my joint, we say, I choose the end result of living a life I love. That is a true choice. What does it look like? Well, a life I love is waking up every day feeling strong and inspirational and going for the things I want, having integrity. That's a life I love. I love it because I'm alive, damn it. So the next one is having health and vitality. I choose the end result of having health and vitality. Now, can we agree that it doesn't matter how old you are, you always have some sort of health, even if you have cancer, for heaven's sakes? Well, the other 95% of you is okay. Why not focus on that? Let me ask you a very interesting question. I heard this today and I thought, you've heard what came first, the chicken or the egg? Does it matter? We eat eggs and we eat chicken. So what does it matter, right? What is more important, the patient who has cancer or the doctor who cures it? Now, most of you are going to say the doctor that cures it, right? No. If the patient didn't have cancer, the doctor wouldn't have a job, right? So they're just different. No one's better. Neither one is better. They are the same. They are the same. We are all the same. One of us is not more important than the other. We might have a schnazzier job or a schnazzier husband, but whatever. That's all about perception. Okay. So the next orientation is living my true nature and purpose. I choose the end result of living my true nature and purpose. I love living that part. I think that's my favorite. The next one is being the predominant creative force in my life. I choose the end result of being the predominant creative force in my life. Now, for some of you, that might be really easy. For some of you, it might really not be. If you're in that I am unlovable belief system, you might have a really hard time with being the predominant creator, right? So if you're making these choices, it's a good way to start if you're not real practiced in the creation of a true choice. And we're going to work with you on that in this program. I'm going to take you through some wonderful meditations to help you realize what this looks like. And thank you, Sarah, for reminding me. I always say it, and it's my favorite thing to say. Don't stop letting life happen to you. Stand up and happen to your life. You be the predominant creator. We create it all anyway. Why not create the life you love? Stop living in that pile of beliefs, crap beliefs, by the way. Most of those beliefs you got from your family, dead relatives. Bert Hellinger says we actually inherit up to 7 generations of stuff, beliefs, this structure. Bing, bing, light bulbs, hello. We don't have to do that. Let it go. We're done with that. We're done with that. We are creating a life we love. We are creating health and vitality. And I'm telling you, if you've already got this stuff, wouldn't you agree that you still wouldn't mind some more? I would like some more of that, please. I'm feeling pretty healthy lately, but I'll tell you what, I would take some more. So we can choose this every day. We can choose these choices every single day. How does that sound? Who wants that? Give me a yes in the chat. Give me a exclamation point in the chat. Give me something. Who's ready to do the job? Who's ready to do it? Who's ready to take life by the balls? Who's ready? Let's see. Let's go. Yeah, let's go. Let's do it. So I already talked to you about the field. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the metaphor. Our superconscious works in metaphor. Actually, our whole brain works in metaphors. We can understand things better with the use of a metaphor. Now, I'll tell you who's a metaphor master, Miss Sarah. She's a metaphor master. So my favorite metaphor to use for the Recode is the river of desire. And if you can just imagine standing on a mountaintop with this beautiful river of desire, and if you look at the bottom of that river of desire, is that true choice? Whether it be the life you love, predominant creator, whatever it is, it's down there. But you notice there's some stuff in the river, some boulders, some turned over cars, some bears eating trout. There's some stuff in the river getting in your way to that desired result. Your superconscious needs to know that that is just resistance. That's those beliefs that have been planted there that pop up. And with the Recode, we're just going to remove some of that resistance so that the water flows more fluently, so that your creative structure is more flowing. Now, some of those boulders are probably pretty big. Your unconscious is probably not going to let go of everything right away. This is pretty new. So, you know, don't expect miracles today. There might be boulders, you know, that car might need a tow truck. So the Recode is not it's not a hypno thing. It's not a magical thing. I don't see dead people or anything weird like that. It's not a trance. It's simply me as your coach asking for your permission to talk to your superconscious like it was a person. Just like you would say, we're going to slay this today. I'm going to talk to your superconscious like it is a person. So I want you to notice that desired result. I want you to just to pick one of those 4 orientations, one of those 4 true choices, and make that your true choice for today. And I want you to take a peek at it and notice it. And I want you to imagine what it's going to look like. I want you to feel that. What is it going to look like? Let me quick ask to just kind of take the temperature of the room. Is anybody having a tough time figuring out what that might look like? A life you love, or being the predominant creator, or health and vitality, or living your true nature and purpose. Does anybody have a tough time what that might look like? Cool. A life I love. Right on, Sarah. All right. So I want you to close your eyes now, and I want you to really feel into that choice, and really choose it. Really, I choose it. I'm going to have it. I'm done with that old structure. I'm having that now. I'm ordering that. And really see and feel what it looks like for me. It feels good. It feels freeing. It feels fulfilling. Doesn't that just feel really good? Yeah. So if I were to ask you, sitting where you are now in the current reality, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being that river is so full of stuff, I couldn't float a marble down it. Or, you know, it's getting, some of it's getting around, but a 1 would be that it's completely free. You could get on a tube and float right down it. What would you say the resistance, how much is resistance is sitting there in that river? And just pop that number into the chat. 0 to 10, 10 being, I can't even get a marble down the darn thing. Just pop that into the chat. Oh yes, Sarah reminded me, if you're driving, please don't close your eyes. Please don't close your eyes. All right, cool. I've got an 8, I've got a 4, I've got a couple of 4s, I've got a 7. Awesome. So if you could just give me permission now. Now, I want you to just notice when we're doing the Recode, your conscious mind is going to feel a little left out. Like, what should I be doing? You shouldn't be doing anything. Just, I'm going to ask you to close your eyes. It's a closed eye process. And just notice what you notice. Just be present and be aware. And if you fall asleep, that's fine too. You'll probably wake up when it's over because your conscious mind, like I say, might feel a little left out, but that's all right. So if you'd like to close your eyes now, unless you're driving, and even if you are driving, just give me permission to talk to your superconscious. And I'll be accessing the field. I can do that right from here, plug into the field intuitively. And just give me permission, me, Kim, I give you permission to talk to my superconscious. And close your eyes. And I want you to get comfortable, and I want you to sit in that true choice right now. I want you to really feel that true choice. And superconscious, are you there? Yes. Superconscious, could you please look at that beautiful desired result? You feel that, you can feel that it's real, that it's desired. Just notice, superconscious, the plan that's needed. Make the perfect plan to remove that resistance out of that river in the perfect way, in the perfect order. And I know some of it might be confusing. Just notice, superconscious, the priorities. There's some definitions. There's some childish definitions in there that we're still living with. Please do a massive change history in all that is necessary in the perfect way, in the perfect order. Some broken contracts, massive change history, all that is necessary. Gently, respectfully. And superconscious, I know that some of those boulders are made out of good wisdom. Just remove what's not needed, what's no longer needed, that's in the way. What should you do with it? Put it away somewhere. Actually, put it in a bubble. Put all that resistance in a big bubble, and we're just going to float it away. Float it away. It'll be there if you think you might ever need it, but you won't. Superconscious, please go back. There's some events. Go back in the timeline. Past lives, whatever. Doesn't matter where that event is. Please go back to it. Do a negative belief flip. If this is the first time you're here, you don't have to worry about if your superconscious knows what that is. Mine does, and will instruct your superconscious accordingly. And just breathe through that. Nice deep breaths. Just noticing what you notice. And superconscious. Recording in progress. Yes, superconscious, just do a massive all that is necessary in the family line, gently, respectfully. There are some aspects, some personalities on board. I want everyone to know that this work we're doing is for more satisfaction in life, much more ease and comfort and a lot less pain. Please do a massive change history in all that is necessary. Yep, moo in the boulders, moo in the cars. Ooh, that water is refreshing. Yes, it is. And superconscious, could you just please ground this new way of being, thinking, feeling, acting into the matrix of the universe? You're just rewiring it, plugging it back in where it needs to be plugged in. That's right, just like a switchboard. Yep. Cool. So I just want to check in with everybody. If you just want to open your eyes and come back to me and just pop it in the chat. We're not finished yet. I just want to take your temperature and see how you're feeling so far. Just pop in, let me know you're here and okay and everything's going. Some new numbers, got some new numbers. Cool. We got some new people here too. Okay. So what I'd like you to do now is just close your eyes again and allow me back in. Super conscious, good job. There's probably some body systems that could be rewired, please. Please do a massive change history and all that is necessary in the perfect way, in the perfect order. Body systems, chakras, front and back, up and down, all of them. Massive change history. Yeah, that looks more like the decorations on the river. I agree. And everybody just breathe through that, allowing the superconscious to do its work. You may notice something, you may notice nothing, just be present. Keep breathing. Superconscious, do you see any other resistance sitting there that is able to be treated today? Yes, please go ahead and treat that in the perfect way, in the perfect order. Do a massive change history. Is there another process? Go ahead and do that. Pull that, yes. Superconscious, please tag any resistance that will be more online for next treatment. Go ahead and just tag it. New aspects, any other aspects that have woken up, please do a massive change history and all that is necessary. Beautiful. And just ground that into the matrix of the universe. Deep, 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 like the tree of life, the roots, yep, yep. And let's start their cosmic tapestry. Oh yeah. Superconscious, you see that desired result? I want you to embroider that in their cosmic tapestry so they can access it easily, they can feel it fully. We're gonna leave it hanging there in that cosmic space for you to visit anytime you want. And like I say, just tag any resistance that should pop up for treatment. Yeah, cool. And when you're ready, everybody, you guys can come back to now and just pop in the chat how you're doing. How's it going? How are you feeling? And if you could give me your beginning number to your end number here. And like I said, not all treatment can be done in one fell swoop. So, you know, not everybody will be down to 0, and it's fine the way that it is. Is everybody awake and with me? Is everybody awake? I'm known to fall asleep during a recode. My conscious brain is like, cool, nap time. I'll let my superconscious do all the work. Life is glorious. Lovely, lovely. And Charlene says she's floating. I love it. I love it. Cool. So I want to just finish up by saying that, again, this was my intro session. I will have probably 12 more weeks from here. So every Tuesday, the same night, same bat channel, same bat time, 7 p.m. Central. I am open for new clients. If you are interested in doing one-on-one, if you're serious about taking the reins of your own life and want to do this weekly privately, I'm available to do that. You can get online with me. Now, the lenses call, lenses, we talked about lenses. It is every single week, specific instructions on how to create your own GPS, how to stay aligned with it every single week. We celebrate your wins. We keep you aligned. And a recode is done at the end of every one of those. Now, Sarah, my partner in crime, she does those calls every Monday at 4 o'clock Central. Now, you'll need to visit her page if you're serious about seriously getting your shit together. As a matter of fact, that's what her lenses call is called. So you'll have to visit her website, and her website is saralockhart.com. It's SARALOCKHART.com. You have to register for her website. Now there is a fee for her lenses call. It is so worth it. I'm going to give her a moment here to explain a little bit about what it is and how to get there.
Thanks, Kim.
That
So anyone who is looking to get their shit together, it is $25 a week or $100 a month. And you can subscribe to that particular level of membership on my website. But any of Kim's private coaching clients get that program included. So all of Kim's private clients are welcome to join, and we contact you directly and give you instructions on how to participate in that call. And if you can't make the live call, you've got access to the recording indefinitely, so you can do it at your leisure if the live Zoom thing isn't your bag.
cool. Thank you so much. Gosh, I just feel like I won the lottery. So again, there'll be 12 more sessions after this, same time, same day, Tuesday nights at 7 for me. Once those sessions are over, I will continue group sessions at the same time, So I'll be doing group sessions. There will be a fee for that after this course is over, but this course is complimentary. If you need a replay, please contact me. I'll get it to you. Otherwise, I'll announce where this will be posted. I'm sure it'll be on my Facebook page in the private group. So thank you all so very much. I'm going to zip this up and stop the recording.